to the new podcast, episode number 54, the 1 year anniversary show. Somehow we made it. My name is Steven. I am joined as always by producer and co-host extraordinaire Kelly, and my man in the hot seat again. Welcome back, Morgan. Let's get to it. 1 year. Can you believe it?
I cannot.
I know.
It's amazing.
Kind of nuts, eh?
It's great to have Morgan back in the
I know,
South.
yeah, for sure. Super great, especially for a momentous occasion, you know, Morgan.
First of many, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Show's getting more popular, so.
It is, yeah, it is. And 1 year down the road, you know, I don't know how many people make it to a year. That's just, how many people do make it to a year, right? You know what I mean?
Most of the people that I've seen start a podcast have failed after like 3 months. Have not gotten many views, and it's like, what do you expect?
We just don't care.
Months? Yeah, we don't care. That's why it's growing.
Perseverance.
Yeah, exactly. Driven. We are thankful for all the people to be a part of this 1 year, or everyone from listening from day one. You know, I know a few people out there, and thank you for all for the popularity of the show and everything. You know what I mean? We've loved cranking it out every week, and it really brings a lot of joy to me just to be able to talk on the mic and be reaching people out there all over basically North America. Really, I don't think we have many followers outside of there, but still, super fucking happy to be part of this thing.
I'm always shocked when we see how many people download it too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's always a good feeling for everyone who does download it.
Well, I guess it's not a shock. We are that good.
Yeah, no, we are, but still.
Shocked it's not more.
Oh, shit. Good weekend of sports. Rugby World Cup really looking good. I had watched a few matches this weekend. Really good. Just the time zone of it, but it was the funniest part I got mentioned to both you guys. It was Canada versus Namibia. Was their final game. They're both like dead last in their didn't win any games. Both got crushed in their showings. But the typhoon had made it so that they couldn't have a match, and then you're just like, fuck it. It's not even worth it. They didn't even have like a makeup match. Like they're not even getting like a makeup match. They're just like, it's a forfeit. It's a tie. They gave him a tie.
Crazy.
Yeah, because they're like, nah, you guys, this really isn't worth it. No one's gonna come to
Did
this.
they get from like a sign from God or something?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
The rugby gods have spoken.
Oh shit! But it's been really good. If you haven't seen any of the matches, check them out. PVR them. They always have like highlight matches on too, and they're really good. It's actually been really good. Now we're down to the nitty gritty of the actual playoff round, so it's actually really good. Football, obviously, MMA coming down this weekend. UFC, PFL in the week. Bare knuckle fighting last night as well was really good. They had a really good show. I thought it was really successful actually. And then even M1 in Kazakhstan, I unfortunately had to watch. Or no, sorry, Fight Nights Global was in Kazakhstan for the 125-pound belt. I watched. It was not very good though.
Very nice.
Because their 125-pound champion is from Kazakhstan. But he was going up against Ali Bagautinov, who'd fought for the belt here in UFC and in North American soil, but it was a terrible matchup. Ali Bagautinov had actually lost. It was not for 125s. They were moving pretty darn slow, man. It wasn't a very good match. It was one of the weirder ones for Fight Night Global because they're usually in these massive mega arenas. This one was like a fucking hall. I thought it was like they didn't like Saturday was the fights, and on Friday they had pro wrestling in there or something. It was quite small. I thought it was weird. But not very impressed by the Fight Nights Global on that one for some weird reason. Let's talk some news here. I think one of the biggest announcements this week was Cain Velasquez officially retiring from MMA and officially signing with the WWE. Talk about a guy that, man, did he ever get handed one hell of a contract just for his name alone. You know what I mean? But what perfect timing to have him up against Brock Lesnar right now. Huge fucking move. Rather than a guy moving, using his name from the WWE, making a name for himself in the MMA world, which we've seen a few dudes do, we see the exact opposite, where a guy gets all this money. I couldn't imagine. It was probably much more than UFC was going to pay him. I can guarantee you that. It's got to be in the millions for a contract for 2-3 years, even that, right? You know what I mean? And that's huge. That is just amazing.
Probably the biggest crossover of all time.
Yeah, big
Up
time.
there. I'd say Ronda Rousey was pretty big too.
It was, yeah.
true,
Well, because
that
she
is.
was like WrestleMania too, right? And it was a lot of rumors of it too. Yeah, that was
But
huge
then
too.
again, Ronda Rousey went out on a loss where Cain Velasquez, he's still kicking ass.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like Cain Velasquez, you could see go back to MMA and still garner views and money for MMA.
I'd say he'd still be a top 6 heavyweight
Yeah.
for sure.
Absolutely. Like if he went to Bellator right now, they would throw so much money at him, something like that. You know what I mean? So
He could probably take Bader.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Like he lost to Francis his last fight. Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
no joke, man.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know, what I mean, I think just obviously injuries have been his biggest problem. We'll see if his injuries rear their ugly head in the WWE as well. So, super interesting. I think it's obviously one of the biggest signings right now. I think his pop was great, you know what I mean, on SmackDown there to come on with Rey Mysterio. And, the rumors, I always love how it's almost like if people say there's something's going to happen for a rumor, and they dispute it right away, it's almost like he's actually going to do it.
Do you think that this could be like something that the WWE would go into, like make XFC
Yeah,
and do their own MMA fight between Brock and Kane?
Yeah, that would be huge. I like that idea, man. Yeah, I like that idea a lot. I've talked about it on the show before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How they should do an MMA fight. You know what I mean? If especially they want to turn to this new hardcore era, like they're losing the PG era. This would be a perfect example for it. Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez in an actual MMA fight. That would be huge.
Yeah.
That would be huge.
And the fact that they fought before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the promotion in Japan that did like those pay-per-views where there was professional wrestling and kickboxing and MMA all in the same card?
I can't remember what the heck it was called. It wasn't Pancrase. I think it was like SWAT Z or something like that. It had some weird name to it.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but it was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. I don't know though. Yeah, I think it's I don't know about the Japanese stuff, but I think on over here that's the hugest thing that could happen to the world right now. And that's a great point that you bring up, Morgan. Why doesn't Vince? He's got enough money start up his own MMA league. Why not? Really, you know what I mean? He's got enough money to do it. Just do it a few off shows, maybe 4 shows a year or something like that. You know what I mean? I don't see why not.
Yeah, I can't find
No.
an organization that
You
did
could put
that,
wrestlers
but I
in
remember
it.
that too.
Yeah, put wrestlers in it too. That's what back in Japan. That's the cool thing they do. That a lot of the wrestlers do MMA and vice versa. And another huge crossover star. Speaking of dudes coming to the WWE to get paid, Tyson Fury for his one match at Crown Jewel is reportedly being paid $15 million.
Good lord, that's a lot of money.
Good lord! Like, that's insane. That is insane. $15 million, Kelly. Can you believe that?
Must be bringing a lot of publicity to the event if they're gonna pay him that much money.
Well, I think that that's half the thing is the reason why they keep going to these Saudi Arabia shows, because they are just throwing tons of money. Exactly. They're just printing money and just paying them in stacks for whoever they want.
That's the Sultan paying that and not Vince, probably.
Oh, big time. Yeah, big time. Where he's like, bring these shows and I will pay for all the talent. I will cover everything just to bring those shows. Like, who does that? That's crazy. You know what I mean? And it's a grueling ride there. Like it's like a 20-hour plane flight. You know what I mean? If you add it all in, you know what I mean? But
I don't know how much a seat costs.
Oof.
To watch the event.
Well, I think because on the floor, it's all like the high up, like important people. And they have like these big like armchairs, like kind of like this when I'm sitting in like this, and like a big armchair is what they sit in. So it's like not normal seating. And then in the crowd, like once you get to the actual seats, it's actual fans and people. But those, I think it's like just like a normal arena chair, right? You know what I mean? But those people, I'm sure that price is probably reasonable, but probably to get on the floor is probably like invite only.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm sure it's reasonably priced because they are still kind of like is it a first what is it a first world, a second world, or a third world country? Saudi Arabia
I believe it's like beyond first world if you're one of the well-to-do people.
Yeah.
But if you're an immigrant there, you don't live that great.
Yeah.
They probably have all first world things, but it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
Kind of like Vancouver.
Yeah, we're a first world country, though. We're a first world country, though. I don't know if they are first world country.
We're a first world country with people going without clean drinking water.
Yeah.
Well, they must have. I bet you must be second. I'm gonna say second world. Hit us up on Twitter. I don't know, or we can always look on the internet. But
I think on average, though, they're way richer than us.
Yeah, I think so.
Per capita, obviously. Yeah, per capita, obviously. Moving right along. That's crazy news, though. Crazy news. Khabib wants Tony Ferguson in the spring in Russia. Coming down, he says he wants to fight next, but it's kind of who knows what's going to happen. Khabib apparently in trouble for walking out of a press conference after one question. He was just in a bad mood. It wasn't even a bad question, so he could be in the hot water a little bit. But I don't see it obviously jeopardizing his career. I'm just saying maybe he won't be able to call his shot. Is usually what the UFC will do. They'll punish him that way, make him fight in Vegas during Ramadan or something like that. That's what they did to him before, and that's why one guy, that Megamed. Guy Khalid Megamed from KSW. That's the reason why he wouldn't sign with WWE. For religious reasons, kind of crazy. But that should be a good matchup when we see that finally go down. If it does go down in Russia, usually these guys at least get one title defense shot in their home country. So obviously the whole world will be excited to see that match. Hector Lombard officially signing with the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. That's crazy. That's a guy I think would be great for it. His gas tank though has always been his hindrance, and now his chin isn't the best too. But I think as a dude who can swing and throw bombs, does he make 185 or does he have to move up to 205? I think is the other question. But I'm excited by that signing of Hector Lombard. Moving over to bare knuckle fighting.
It'll probably help his gas tank because he doesn't have to, protect takedowns, wrestle, and all
good
that
call.
stuff, right? He just has to swing basically.
Yeah, good call.
It kind of seems like the prerequisite to being signed by that bare knuckle championships is that you don't have a good chin.
Yeah,
because they want more knockouts, or
yeah, big time. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
Plus, they're grabbing a lot of older fighters just for
big time
views, right?
Big time. Basically, that the prerequisite is you have to have fought in the UFC at least once. Yeah. Wins or losses, it doesn't matter.
There's some ex-boxers too, right?
Yeah,
there's a few. Yeah,
in it for one fight.
Who?
Paulie. He fought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lobov. Yeah.
He looked awful.
Yeah, and then he said he won. When his face was all hanging off his chin.
There was a guy that was on last night that was a professional boxer too. It was actually he actually put on a good match too. And he wasn't terrible. I think he was like 25-4 or something. You know what I mean?
You would think that that's designed for a professional boxer to do good at. It's basically boxing.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder if the gloves though, like the bigger gloves, they train differently. You can protect more of your face
good call.
And stuff like that. Take more, a few more punches. I don't
good
know
call.
And it's more for points rather than trying to take the other guy's head off.
Yeah.
In boxing.
Where this bare knuckle, you get cut up pretty bad.
Pretty quickly too, yeah. Pretty quickly. One thing I thought was odd, Kayla Harrison signing a multi-year extension with PFL. Why? RIP your career. Get the ticket and move to an actual organization. Like at least Bellator. Like what the hell?
I wonder if it's like a lack of confidence.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I think it's good to give her that she is getting more of this training, but the competition, she's walking through everyone she fights, and that's what we saw here on the PFL this last week when she fought, and she just walked through her. No challenge for her at all, and that's what we've seen for every one of her fights. Really, she hasn't really been in trouble at all. But I understand that beside about a multi-year.
She probably saw what happened to Ben Askren, and he's like, fuck that.
I guess so. But that's what I'm saying. Hey, move to Bellator then. Yeah, move to Bellator. You know what I mean? Yeah, Bellator, they got some competition over there. It's going to be more than PFL. But
and at least you can make a name for yourself, too.
Yeah. Maybe she's doing the math and she's banking on winning that $1 million every year. You know what I mean? That could actually add up. You know what I mean? So maybe she's banking on that. Because now they finally have announced that the women actually are going to get a $1 million tournament, which she is going to headline at the year-end show. Yeah, but I just thought it was a bad move.
I agree.
Tito Ortiz and Alberto Del Rio's match has been finally announced here, going down in Combat His Americas in Hidalgo, Texas, December 4th. I'm actually super excited for that one. They had that little bit of a face-off in the ring, and people were saying it was cringy. I didn't think it was terrible. I didn't think it was terrible at all. It was scripted. It was totally scripted, of them going back and forth, because they kept it pretty clean and everything like that. But I liked it. I liked it. Maybe I'm sure Alberto Del Rio probably even wrote it. But I'm excited. I'm going to tune into it just for that match alone. I'm super excited to see Alberto Del Rio fight, and a guy who's not a stranger to MMA. He doesn't have a terrible record. He's 9-5 for a dude who's fought some tough ass dudes. Fighting Crow Cop, fighting Kaz Nakamura. Who had a long UFC contract. But the one thing about his record is that most of the dudes he beat were terrible, like absolutely atrocious. Like one guy was like 1-13, like one guy was like 0-4. You know what I mean? So he's fought like a lot of cans, really, but still, he does have some wins. That's the thing.
Basically, Tito's gonna kick his ass.
Probably, yeah. But let's find out. I think what we were gonna see was gonna happen is I think Tito's just gonna come in and just grab him and throw him on the ground like right away. You know what I mean? And then kind of just nullify him and just ground and pound him from there. I think Tito's smart. That's what he should do.
I honestly think Tito will come in and mess him up on the feet.
Wow.
I don't think he's going to have much respect for him.
Yeah, wow. Okay, cool. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Win or lose, I want to see this matchup. I'm really kind of cheering for no one, really. I'm just cheering for a good matchup.
So they kind of gave Tito a punching bag.
Basically.
That's nice of him.
The punching bag is like, what is his position in Combate? He's like
the president.
The president, right? Yeah. I know, because he came out and put belts on guys in the tournaments when I watched them.
He's the president, now he's fighting. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's kind of like when Tito wanted to fight Dana White.
Very similar, yeah.
He just wants to fight the president of every organization.
Yeah, that's his thing. Scott Coker.
That'd be the easiest one.
He's fought a lot. Obviously, he fought in Japan. He's fought on Pride. You know what I mean? 2 Pride events he's fought. He fought on Deep. Right? Yeah, Crow Cop. Yeah, exactly. He fought on Deep a few times. Then he fought a bunch of times in Mexico and Central America and Honduras, Mexico City, and even fighting in Spain as well, which was his last loss to Yamamoto Henshi. I think that even that guy, had a losing record as well. But
he had a winning streak before that, though, eh?
Yeah, he had a bit of a winning streak. Yeah, but it was all his fights in Central America, and all these dudes were terrible. Like I remember, I think this Arthur Bart and George King. I think that was their first and only fight. They were both 0-1.
They sound like made up names.
I know, don't they? George King. Arthur Bart.
Imagine his nickname's King. Arthur King.
But still, he got in the ring a bunch of times, and my hat goes off to him. Any way you slice it, Alberto Rio is tough, but we will find out how tough it is. I still think there's a chance that this fight doesn't ever happen. Something happens to either one of the dudes. They're both older. Alberto Del Rio has been well documented his drug problem as of late too. So we will find out what happens coming down December 4th.
It's like the Ferguson Khabib fight. Will it ever happen?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Who knows? That's a long way.
Don't want that to happen either.
Never want that to happen.
It's gonna be the best fight ever.
Of course, yeah. King Mo coming out of retirement for a retirement bout. He's like, I want to go out at least one more fight. I think that's a good move to be able to officially retire after a fight, taking on Andrew Capel, Bellator 233. Give him a bit of an easy can. I looked up his stats earlier. He's not great. He's not terrible though. But Andrew Capel going down Bellator 233. So that was nice to see send off for King Mo. We had a good retirement segment for him when he did retire. Like King Mo, good fighter, and it's good to see he gets one final fight, one final paycheck. Huge news, obviously, last week was the announcement of Bellator and Ryzen doing a co-promotion show December 29th, and it will be headlined by none other than Fedor Emelianenko taking on Rampage Jackson. Super excited for that fight. You know what I mean? Two old dudes, obviously. Let's not kid ourselves here, but I still love that matchup. When it was announced, guaranteed everyone's going to tune into that. Two dudes who never fought each other. I guess it would be, two lighter heavyweights right now, too. Rampage didn't look great. Obviously, Fedor hasn't looked great, but I think that's what you got to do. You get these legend fights, and I like this. I like this matchup for Rampage getting paid, and for huge for Japan. Japan's always loved both those dudes too, so it's going to be a huge thing. And I want to see all the lead up shit because Rampage going back to Japan. You know what I mean? It's where you got where he made his name. The people love him over there, and I'm super excited for that, for everything that leads up to that.
I have a question.
Yeah. Yes.
What do you guys think about this inhaler gate? Because Greg Hardy asked if he could use that inhaler. Everybody said he could. He takes it, and now it's a no contest. The fuck is that?
Bullshit.
If everyone tells him he can and gives it to him, then he should be able to compete with it.
Well,
apparently they wrote an approval for him to use it. USADA.
No, I know.
No sense.
Guys, they wrote an approval for him to use it. Yes, when he signs his thing. I had a whole thing to get into this, Kelly.
Okay, sorry.
No, it's all good. We can talk about it now. Do you want Fedor or Rampage? No, do you think they should use the inhaler? Is that why? Is that why you're right? These guys are so old. Let's give these guys the inhalers. Come on.
They should.
They should.
I hear where you're coming from.
Fans win when the fighters have more energy.
But they said yes. He wrote it on his slip because you have to declare what drugs you take, right? He wrote on his slip, and they said yes, you are allowed to use it. Not in the ring in between rounds. You are not allowed to use it. He's allowed to use it for training outside of the ring, but you cannot use it during a fight.
That's true. I just wish someone told him that during the fight.
Well, they did. I know, but he didn't think. He thought they said I can use it. Yeah, they did, but not now. You know what I mean?
But the official outside of the ring said
yeah. That's
I don't.
They did.
I don't know if that's what's coming out today though. That's what's coming out today though. Is they don't know who this official is. Yeah. They can't find. They can't find. They don't think that a conversation ever took place.
Okay, because apparently they're saying that his cornerman Dean Thomas asked the guy, and the guy said that it was okay.
Yeah, no. Apparently it's coming out. Apparently it's coming out that they can't verify that story.
Inhaler gate. Yeah, these old guys are definitely gonna need inhalers. Yeah, I give Fedor and.
Yeah, exactly. Just hook them up to auction mass the whole fight.
Give them some Viagra too.
For no reason. Just do it.
For the after party.
It's the least we can do.
Yeah, man.
Oh man, you're hilarious. I don't know if that would help you fight.
Yeah, definitely give you a little endurance boost.
I think Conor McGregor does it.
Really?
He's got a boner in the weigh-ins.
Wait, that's true, yeah. It's hilarious.
Oh, man. All right, sorry for cutting you
off. No, not at all, man. Not at all. No, not at all. But I just think, you know what I mean? Like we were just talking to Morgan about earlier, if people want a juice to the gills, go right ahead. I think just open up the floodgates and just have them juice to the gills. But right now we have rules, and I just don't think you should, or be able to use that. Some states you can't even drink Gatorade.
Yeah.
But some states they actually have had to make the motion so that fighters could drink Gatorade in between rounds. That's a big deal.
So is it fair to say that in your opinion he shouldn't have asked, and if he needed it he should have quit?
Well, no. Well, I think what it is, I don't think he should have quit. I think obviously he should have just went in there and kept on doing his thing.
Yeah.
But his corner should have known. No, you can't. Yeah. You can't do this.
That's
exactly.
Fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I think that rule is bullshit because in other professional sports, if you have asthma, you can go ahead and use a puffer, right? So instead of a guy having to stop a fight because he's having an asthma attack, puff, keeps fighting. If you're better than him, you should still be able to beat him now that he can breathe.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the problem with it, but I guess there is some sort of rule against it in fighting, which is different than other sports. Beckham used to pull out his puffer all the time in soccer games. No one gave a shit.
Yeah.
It is different, though. It is different.
different.
It's because it is a stimulant too. It's not just like air. Oh, I'm getting air. Yeah. No, it's like a stimulant too in it.
But it's not a stimulant in the fact that it's gonna make you like extra strength or something. It's a stimulant in the fact that it stimulates your lungs to start working again.
That's what I'm saying.
To be on the same level playing field as the other guy.
I know, but still,
you know what, man? As someone who grew up with asthma, when I took it, I usually got a rush of adrenaline as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So now the other guy, could not have asthma. You know what I mean? But if you took an inhaler and you don't have asthma, it would definitely help your lungs in that situation. So now you just gave the guy, you know what I mean? Oh, I got a breath of fresh air, now I can fight again. You know what I mean? That's the problem. I
think that's great. I think that's the same as water. Okay,
it's not
you're having
close.
Water between rounds because
it's not
you're getting
even
dehydrated,
close.
And you're having air in between rounds because you're losing oxygen.
If it was just
what's the difference?
If it was straight air, that'd be different.
I can see both your points.
Yeah.
Totally.
Exactly. Yeah. I know. But that's what I'm saying. Just fucking give them everything. Let them fucking shoot up in between rounds. Let them...
I'm sorry, give me my steroids.
Exactly. I don't care. But right now, it's clear cut why it is illegal.
I see. I can see that.
Boo.
I just boo USADA, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I boo UFC for deciding to go with USADA when they were dealing with a
terrible
different
idea.
Set of rules before.
Yeah,
but that's because they wanted Nike and like Reebok sponsorship, and like they wanted like like Fox to be on Fox and all that at the time.
True.
So they wanted to be like super legitimate sport.
Okay,
and,
well,
it kind of
Fox
made it worse.
does NFL, and they're all on roids.
Yeah, big time.
So does Nike and Reebok.
Yeah. Those are all good points. Oh man, fun times.
Yeah. No, but exactly. We'll see how it turns out. Obviously, we know the result of the fight. Yeah, we know the result of the fight. Yeah, exactly. But we'll see. We'll see if this debate gets opened up in the future of combat sports, especially with being the unified MMA rules. Will that come into play? But I see that's a slam dunk of it's a no. I got to ask you, Morgan, one last question to round out with all the Edge talk coming down this week of him coming out of retirement. It was going to be rumored that he was going to be the captain of Team Hulk Hogan with Seth Rollins now only wanting one match. Now since he had to back out being the captain of Team Hogan, it was rumored that Edge was going to return to be that. Obviously, we found out that Roman Reigns was later named the captain. And all the talk he wants it cleared for him to come back to a match in Saudi Arabia to get huge money. A lot of people saying no, and Edge himself saying absolutely not. But the rumors are swirling extra hard. He's been spotted at different treatment centers and at different WWE like headquarter areas. Does he make a return, Morgan? Edge, the rated R superstar. Do you think he makes a return?
I don't know. If he gets cleared, maybe, but I bet he's going to act like he's not trying to until he gets cleared.
Of course.
Because it'd be stupid to say you can before you get cleared.
Yeah, exactly.
Or that you even want to.
Yeah,
but it would be pretty cool, especially if you could like perform at even close to the level he used to. He was one of the best.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Huge. Maybe that was almost like, I think it's like 8 years he's been away. Maybe that helped out his longevity. Get like maybe a few more years in. But I think as of right now, for the amount of money people are getting paid, I think it's hard when they drive that truck up. When Vince fucking drives that truck of money up to your door, I think it's hard to say no sometimes. Obviously,
hey, you know what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. I think that the WWE would be very smart to make one of their announced teams have Edge and Christian on it.
Ooh, that'd be super smart. Yeah.
I don't know, Michael Cole with Edge and Christian or something like that.
Well, the Monday night team is atrocious. Jerry Lawler sucks now. He is not good anymore. He's not edgy. He's he's old. He's really old. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's just not very good. It's not very good. That Dio Madden guy is absolutely terrible. I don't even know who the fuck he is. You know what I mean? Was he a wrestler? Who is he? I have no clue who he is. He kind of just came out of nowhere. And then the guy from 205 Live, I don't even know Nolan or what the hell his name is. I don't even know what the hell his name is, but he was on 205 for a reason because he sucks. He's
those
terrible.
Guys aren't meshing together, and
that's you hit the nail on the head with that, Morgan. That's the biggest problem. Not only they're all not very good, Their chemistry is terrible.
Yeah.
It is atrocious. They're stumbling over each other. They don't even know what to say.
Well, it's kind of weird because, like, I don't think they know how to work with the King because when he makes his weird little offhand comments, they don't even really react.
Yeah.
It's like silence after.
It is. Yeah, no, it is that silence afterwards. And he's not being edgy enough. You know what I mean? That's what made him good was his edginess. He's not being edgy enough at all. But I would love to see that. I would love to see that. If Edge were to come back even in a capacity of just being a commentator, I think that would be huge. I would love to see that. But they're more color guys still, though, right? You know, Edge and Christian are still more color guys.
That's what I mean. Put them with like a play-by-play guy, maybe Morrow or
yeah, that wouldn't be a bad
Cole
idea.
or
Yeah, I could see that working. All Canadian team, that'd be kind of cool.
That would be.
All right, ran along with that one.
No.
But I can't wait to see his return. Can't wait to see his return. I think it's happening. I think he's coming back sooner rather than later. Let's talk some video games. Obviously played a ton of Orna this weekend. They have a special event going on this weekend of extra experience in the dungeons. All refresh at halftime, so that's kind of a lot of fun. Just battling through the week, you know what I mean? Leveling up 186 right now. Fucking still loving it. Grinding away in the game. Just, you know, the experience grind right now is real. Just doing a ton of raid bosses. Finally got a brand new weapon, Kelly. Fuck, I was really struggling there, man, because I had a really good weapon, but it was getting outdated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know how when you play those, games, RPG games, or especially like WoW or something like that, you have a good weapon, you know what I mean? But now you're such a high level, even though the stats are great on it, it kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And that's the spot I was kind of in right now. So I finally got it, upgraded it, master forged it. So you got to upgrade it, and every time it takes more. The final time to get from level 9 to level 10, it takes 3 days in the forge, and then you got to take it to a master forge, and the master forge at least it happens instantly. But it takes a ton of material. So, after that whole fact, you got to go out in the world and find these master forge places. And I found one near my work. Banged it out, and boom, I'm fucking just smashing shit. PvP, I'm just smashing shit. But it's so much. What the fun part about it is I'm in a fucking war zone right now. That's this crazy part about this game, about really like how you attack other people. And when I take the sky train, it's a fucking war zone. I'll go through and just smash all these dudes, beating them one by one on the SkyTrain line. But sure enough, throughout the day, all the other people who take the SkyTrain too that play the game, they're whittling me away, and then another dude will come in and get the killing hit. And since I'm so tough right now, it takes a few times, but I'll get all the notifications. Every morning I take like 25 spots, and then an hour later, all my 25 spots are taken back for me. It's just so much fun it's just playing the game that way. But we're climbing. Our kingdom is really good, and we're having a ton of fun with it.
Just wait an hour and kick everyone's ass on that SkyTrainers game.
Exactly. Yeah. Son of a bitch. Who was it? Well, you can, unless the person has their game on private, you can see like there's because you have a party, right? You build a party of people you've hung out with, and you can join the party, and then you share experience. So all the experience I get, they get too, and they get a little bit of some of the dough I make, they get too, and vice versa. The experience they make and I get it. So you pool all your shit together. But and when you're in that section, you can see nearby travelers.
Nice.
You can see people who are nearby you, so you can actually see like, that's something. We're on the same train. Just attacking random people. Like because everyone's looking at their phone, right?
Somebody's gonna get stabbed.
Oh, I can believe it. Because this guy we battle all the time. Like he owns like basically like all of BC basically. He has like 5,000 spots.
Wow.
I have like 150. You know what I mean? Like that's a lot. You know what I mean?
GPS happening?
I think he is. I'm pretty sure he is. You know what I mean? That's a lot of spots to have.
Yeah.
Like this dude we know who's like
Maybe
in
he's
our
a trucker.
I don't think so. He said all he does is drive. Like my buddy talked to him. Like all he does is he doesn't have a job. He doesn't do anything. He plays this game. This game is his whole life. That's all he does. He drives around and plays the game
So he lives in his
all
car?
day, every day. I think he's just some rich kid. I think he's just super
He
loaded.
drives that much?
Oh well, he'd have to. Or
Has he not heard Greta's speech?
He could have a Tesla for all we know.
I hope so.
For the planet's sake. But he's like, oh, I don't take it personally. But he went out of his way to rename our work, like where we work, me and my buddy, because we eventually grind away because we can just battle him all day at work, right? So eventually we can grind him away. And he went out of his way to rename our work, saying like, oh, you almost own this place for an hour this time. That must suck. But then all of a sudden he messaged us saying, oh, don't take it personally. Just I find it fun. Yeah, right. Fucking right, buddy. You do take it personally. You goof. So it was fun. I just grinding away, and it's really getting up there in the levels. Zelda I played, I cracked. I had to look up what I did next. I was so close too. I needed to find a special portal in the forest in the top right-hand corner of the map, top left-hand corner of the map. I found it though, and I'm balls rolling now. The game is great again. I'm cranking through the missions, fighting the bosses, getting these crystals stuff. It's open up a new side of it. Just need to upgrade the power glove, and I'm gonna be totally set.
So what you're saying is that children's game was too tough.
Yeah, it was tough for me. I figured it out though. Yeah,
I tried to play Mega Man recently.
That's tough. That's
hard.
Super tough. No, that's a hard game to play. But like I went through the forest. I just didn't realize there was different paths in the forest. Like I know there was like 1 and 2 different paths, but I didn't know there was a third different path in that forest. So I never took the third road because I thought it was all the same. You know what I mean? And then when I looked up, I'm like, fuck, I never took that road. Damn it. You know what I mean? I found it. What about you, Kelly? What have you been playing, man?
I've been playing some Apex. They have a new mode. It's called Shadowfall.
Oh,
it's
wow.
Basically, you drop by yourself. It's like 50 legends drop.
Cool.
And then basically it's like a survival mode in the beginning. And there's like zombies and stuff. And like when you open crates, you just kill them and put it easy. But when you kill another legend, they become like this shadow creature.
Whoa.
And basically they can hit you. And if you have low armor, they can kill you in 1 hit. If you have like a blue armor, it takes like 2 hits. And it just kind of counts down until it drops this ship. And if you can get on the drop ship, basically you won the game. But most of the time, people are just killing each other like crazy and turning into these shadow things and just like killing anybody who's left too.
Wow.
So normally like 1 person wins a game, if that.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, because all the shadows can see where the ship drops too. It's kind of sad that like people won't play together and just try to win the game. But
I can believe it,
like
yeah.
people just like, I see somebody, I'm just gonna kill him, turn him into a shadow, and that way that he can kill me back, right? It's kind of
weird, eh? Yeah, but did you like it? Do you like it? Is it fun?
I do like it. It's fun. I just wish it was more cooperative than it is. It's a little too hard to hit that drop ship right now.
Right.
Other than that, yeah, it's pretty fun. Yes, so it's more like survival mode. If you kill someone, they come back for you. So I don't know why you do that, but
whatever. Have you made it to the dropship or no?
I made it almost there. I was like a foot in front of it before I died.
Oh no, yeah. Crazy!
I think like everybody's picking Pathfinder right now because
I've seen the video.
Hook,
yeah, I've
so
seen.
They can
yeah,
fly towards it, right? But like, so everyone's like Pathfinder. Basically.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's kind of spooky too. Gets
cool.
Going.
Cool.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That is cool.
I haven't played World of Warcraft in a while.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I should get back on that.
I was thinking about it, you know what I mean, again, too. I've just kind of been on the fence with it, you know. I got so many damn games. I didn't even think, Final Fantasy VII, the original I got on Xbox. I still haven't even fucking played even a quarter of it. Even a fucking eighth of it I haven't played.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I got too many damn games. First world problems over here. Too many video games. What about you, Morgan? You still gearsing it up, grinding them gears?
Well, I just played Gears 5 again for the first time in a bit because after my surgery I had to lay down.
Right.
And so I was primarily actually playing a phone game.
Right.
Marvel Strike Force.
Oh, right.
Pretty good.
Nice.
I'm not really like one of those role-playing type of guys, but this one's all right when you're just sitting around or laying around, and a lot of cool characters you can get on it. They all have a lot of different attacks too that you can use. So
is it like,
it's pretty fun?
Is it kind of like a Street Fighter game, or is it more like a button like a kind of like a special attack and this attack?
It is like role playing style fighting, like Final Fantasy style.
Right.
Like,
okay.
Where you take turns and then you do different attacks. Some people have heals. Some people have different abilities.
Do you have a team of like 3, or is it just 1?
You can have. I think the teams are generally about 5.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sometimes your team's a bit smaller if you don't have enough guys.
Right, like if you're starting out or something like that.
Well, because there's different ones. There's like a hero campaign and a villain campaign.
Oh, okay.
So you can only use your heroes in the hero one. You can only use your villains in the villain campaign. There's other types of matches where you could use any of them.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Right.
Use certain types of guys that are like brawlers.
Right.
Like only your brawlers can go. So you
that's
use,
cool.
like, say Spider-Man and whoever else brawls. And then there's one where it's only your shooters. So like I got Punisher as a shooter and a couple other guys that shoot. So
that sounds like actually a lot of fun.
It's pretty good actually.
I know a lot of the people that like the show on Twitter are into that game. That one and the wrestling one, oddly enough, the wrestling card one is super popular too.
I haven't tried that one actually.
Yeah, it's okay. It looks like it's okay. It's more like a grindy game though. That's the only thing about it. You know what I mean? Where you really are just fighting and doing battles just to get like the cards and upgrade your cards and shit like that.
Well, this is a bit grindy too. Mm-hmm. But I think just because I'm a big fan of Marvel, I kind of like it in a way.
Yeah. No, it's anything you put Marvel on is gonna sell, especially when it comes to games like that. You know what I mean? I remember one of the they have a ton of fun games just because it's so easy to use the characters' special abilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and shit like that.
It has to be something where you know the characters, because if it's a bunch of guys you've never heard of and you're like, oh, I'm gaining experience and I'm gonna get this guy who I have no idea who he is.
Mm-hmm.
But in this, it's like I'm trying to get Wolverine. I want to get fucking Wolverine because he's
exactly.
cool.
Exactly. Do you have him or no?
No, I'm actually working on getting Wolverine right now. I've almost got enough Wolverine shards.
Oh, I see. I got you, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. I'll check out the game. If I wasn't so addicted to Orna, I would may play it.
That's the problem, man. You get addicted to one game. You don't want to leave forever.
Exactly. Back by popular demand, reviewing the reviews. Going international again. And I talked about on the shows previously, what about reviewing somewhere in Europe, where they don't speak English? Would the reviews be in English? So I went to a simple one, obviously. The moneymaker. The moneymaker. McDonald's. Great. It's great. It's absolutely great. I actually went today, and my order was right. And it was actually pretty good. So I'm doing McDonald's in Berlin, Germany. It's this one here. There's obviously a ton in Berlin. But this one here I picked as a good one. It's a good one, man. 1,001 reviews.
You better not read it with a redneck accent.
Oh, I am. Dude, I'll try my German. 3.2 stars out of 1,001 review. Let's see. I wanted to see this picture here first, though. It looks like they do. The food actually looks pretty good. It's not like McDonald's we got here. I don't know if that's the thing. That doesn't look like any McDonald's burger I've ever seen. You guys see that?
That looks like actual lettuce.
It looks like an actual burger, but it almost looks like they have like burned McDonald's Monopoly into the bun too. Do you see that?
Oh yeah.
If my damn fucking tablet wasn't so damn
Weird.
slow here.
Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, it looks like they actually it's like a burn into the bun. That's interesting. Huh.
No, tablet's not working.
I'm just gonna back it up. Oh, here we go. Dang it.
Yeah. We're screwed.
Damn slow tablet. Shut it down.
Shut it down.
Oh, I picked the wrong one. No, that burger looks like an actual burger from McDonald's.
Reviewing the reviews broke the internet.
Exactly.
They don't want us to.
They don't want us to do. I know they're shutting us down.
McDonald's knows.
Let's get into the reviews here. People were mad, but at least it's all in English. But I don't know if it's translated. I don't know if it's just translated for us. I don't know. But I love this one. I love this one. Let's just get started right from the first review here. Just T. 13 reviews, 45 photos, 3 stars, 3 weeks ago. I like this one. It's just weird. It's just odd. That's what brings McDonald's too. Just odd reviews. Sometimes you have to wait long, but sometimes it's really annoying. Food is good. Average staff. That's it. That's it. I know. How is the staff average? Like, you know what I mean? Like, wouldn't you be like, like service is...
Yeah.
Service is average?
5'10", 170 pounds.
Oh, man.
Oh, shit. Exactly.
Just straight to the point.
Odd.
All that you'd need to feel the need to leave that review.
I know exactly. I know it was this one I love. Speaking of the weird why leave a review. DZ 29 reviews, 38 photos, 5 stars 2 weeks ago. I like the atmosphere. Reasonable prices. Reasonable prices.
I love the atmosphere.
That's it. Exclamation point. That's
Apparently
it.
there's not a bunch of crackheads hanging out in front of McDonald's in Germany.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
The ballroom's great.
Weird though. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
That's odd. You know, that's a 5-star review. I guess, you know what I mean? Here, I like this one because somebody liked the review. And they have one review. This is their only review. So even out of Germany, like this person, I think this person's from North America too. They were so pissed off with the McDonald's in Germany that they had to write a review. BS. I'm just gonna assume this
BS.
One review 2 months ago. This is the American person. The service was very slow. The waiter gave me fries even though I ordered a salad. In addition, the food you order is prepared much earlier. Therefore, my Big Mac was cold and looked bad. A very bad experience. They apparently they don't know what fast food is.
You got a waiter?
I know. Like, how weird is that? The waiter gave me fries, even though they ordered a salad. That's odd. Yeah, from McDonald's.
McDonald's to get salad.
Yeah, I know exactly. Like, what the hell? Moving right along, folks. Here's another 5-star. This one doesn't make any sense at all. AS 65 reviews as well. Only 3 photos and 1 star an hour ago. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That is insane.
Breaking news.
That is a fresh review.
Breaking reviews.
But it doesn't even make sense. Maybe it's midnight over there. It's like late night because this guy sounds like he's drunk. I could not ducking fins this place after walking half an hour. And it's like I could no 5. That's what it is. Like it's number 5, ducking, and it's like not even like fuck or ducking. Like it's DUKING fins. I don't know this. I don't get it exactly.
He's one of those big German guys with huge sausage fingers, and he just got a bunch of typos.
He's so mad and drunk he doesn't care. Good stuff on this one here. We'll round out one more here. This person, I was gonna do 2 more here. This one's quick. 3 stars. LQ 8 reviews 4 months ago. 3 stars. Good, I guess. Not the best choice though.
Fair enough. I agree with that. Good, not the best.
What the hell is even this one? AS. This guy's 5 stars too. Nice place to go in Berlin. Nice place to hang out. What the hell? Weird.
Must be the atmosphere.
I know. It's must be very different in Germany. All right, last one here. This person, AVK. 8 reviews, 6 photos, 1 star, 2 months ago. The upper floor has never been cleaning staff in years.
Gross.
At least that's what it looked like. Every single table is dirty. And it's not busy hour. Exclamation point. Wow, they were very mad. Morgan,
That's
like you
what
said.
I expected.
Morgan,
from
that's
a
what you
German.
said. Yeah, exactly.
My dad's
yeah.
German, and when I go to a restaurant with him, he always complains about how dirty everything is.
But to say it hasn't been cleaned in years, like that, like the place trash should be like piled up to the ceiling, like it hasn't been cleaned in years. Like that person was very mad. That person was very, very mad. All right, well, we ran a little bit long here, folks. We'll just break here. Good segment. McDonald's in Germany getting it done. I liked it. I liked it a lot. I'm loving it. It doesn't look. Here's a picture of him. It actually doesn't look bad over there. It looks pretty normal.
Yeah.
It doesn't look bad. The fries even actually look a little bit better. Actually, the fries actually look normal, not like the weird fries we get. They took the pickles out. Pickles actually look huge. You see the size of those pickles?
That's what she said.
It's crazy. Wow.
German pickles.
I know, German pickles. Well, folks, we will just be right back after these brief messages. A survival video game like none other. Who will die next? Friday the 13th for Nintendo. Are you walking left? Are you walking right? So impossible you cannot beat it without the Game Genie. Cha-cha. Friday the 13th. Coming out February 1989. Do you like fast-paced racing games? Then Excite Bike is for you. A motocross racing game made by Nintendo. Get it today, 1984 of November.
Do you enjoy throwing the newspaper into people's houses? If so, Paperboy is the game for you. Published by Atari, this game will be released in April of 1985. Make sure you get everybody their issue of the Daily Sun and don't crash your bicycle.
Welcome back, folks. Hope you enjoyed our messages, and please go grab yourself a cold, tall glass of water on the house. Tap water, that is. Lots of fights coming down this weekend. We're really getting to one hell of a log jam of events coming down the pipe here for the viewing season, October. And we start off the week with PFL having their playoff season this year, going down on when was it? I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. I can't remember. PFL 8 going down. It wasn't bad. Fortunately, the Canadian dude, he's actually from Surrey, Jeremy Kennedy. He lost to Daniel Pineda, and he was actually looking really good, but kind of just gave up the choke. He looks like a small 145, like he's tall and lanky, but it just doesn't seem like he looks that powerful against most of the dudes he fights. It's kind of weird. I think if he went down to 145, I think he could actually do some damage. Wasn't a great card, but it's kind of cool that they do have the playoff series going right now with Lance Palmer punching his ticket to the finale, and he will take on Daniel Pineda, who beat up Jeremy Kennedy in the year-end final for the $1 million and the belt. So that should be pretty damn good. What was the other? There was another decent one on here as well. I can't remember. Oh yeah, that Nathan Schrute versus Ahmed Alvi. It was a really nice triangle choke on the win there. It was good. It was actually good, really good fight. Those guys really going back and forth. Chris Wade beating Nate Andrews too. It wasn't a great fight, but it wasn't terrible. They were pretty active the whole time, but it wasn't a great card. We see this Andrew Harrison guy just get totally put to sleep though. I don't know who was it. I think that was the other card on that one. Where he loses. Ramsey Nijum was also on this one, getting choked out by rear naked choke by Nathan Schrute. So all in all, PFL's just not really doing it for me. You know what I mean? It wasn't really that good. It's good it's on TV, but I kind of liken it to a really like low class card. Really, it wasn't that great. Wasn't that great at all.
Just put it on YouTube. Add the commercials on YouTube or whatever.
What's that?
They should just put them on YouTube.
Yeah, why not?
If you get millions of views, you get some money. I don't know. I don't know if it's enough to pay the guys.
Yeah, there's so many promotions now. It's hard to keep up with all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched PFL in forever, man.
Yeah, it's not like maybe the year-end show I'll watch, but the rest of it's not that great.
If there's a fight that stands out, like two guys I know and I want to see, then I'll watch. Other than that, I usually don't.
I'm the same way with Risen. Has to have people I know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they put on that's the same thing when they have some shows when it's just all Japanese guys. It's not even real Japanese names really. So it's one of those things where it's they can be bad like that too.
Yeah, I love the Risen New Year's cards though.
Yeah, of course. That's different too. That's different too for sure.
They probably have their own audience though, right?
That's true. That's for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Japan, I think, will always be a hotbed for anything. It's like it's like New York. You know what I mean? You put on an event in New York, people go because population's there. No matter what, it's going to sell out because you have like 30 million people living in one city. You know what I mean? Just, that's why you see in Japan, because they have, like 1 billion people in one small area. You know what I mean? You're going to have people go to your event. Mm-hmm. Could be crapping in a bucket and people are going to come and pay.
I'm bored. I want to watch it. He's famous.
I think that comment might get you attacked by ninjas.
Oh, boy. While I'm crapping. That'd be my weakest point. Let's break down Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 8 coming out of Tampa, Florida. It was kind of cool. They had like the announcer. He also does the Road FC and like the ring announcer. He does the Road FC announcements too. So it's kind of weird. But that's like the Korean organization. You know what I mean? So they got the dude who does the Korean organization and he does bare knuckle fighting. That's kind of weird. You know what I mean? That's what. Man, that dude's getting paid. You know what I mean? He's getting I don't know what either Korea's flying him in or he lives in Korea and bare knuckle is fighting him in. So
is he a Korean guy?
No, he's a white guy. Huh. Older white guy, yeah. So that's kind of weird.
Mind doing work in Korea.
I know, that'd be super fun. Hell yeah, I would do that too. But they actually put on a good show. I actually really enjoyed it. It was cool being in Tampa. The one thing that was the fucking weirdest thing, I don't know who this guy was, but he came out with a lot of the fighters. I don't know if you guys noticed him. He looked like he was like Samoan origin or something like that. But he had a shirt that was like the top. It had like the top cuff, right? Was like a baseball tee type style, right? So like the top cuff is or like the shoulders of the shirt was all like burgers. It was like a burger print, you know what I mean? Yeah, like burgers. But his shirt was a Loba versus Knight, the first one. So it was like a promotional shirt, but it had these burgers that he had obviously added.
I think he's trying to steal Roy Nelson's gimmick.
He was a bigger gentleman, you know what I mean? Like he was a guy.
Maybe he loves burgers.
I think that's it. He loves burgers, but I don't know who this guy was. But he was obviously somebody who very like deeply involved because he was sitting right in front of the ring girls. And like the whole night he was coming out with different fighters the whole night. Like he was coming out to the ring with them. So I was like, who the hell is this guy? But he seems like the coolest guy ever. You know what I mean? He's living it up.
He's a gangster.
I know, he is, basically. I thought it was hilarious.
I think it's weird how they're doing a rematch already. Like they're like,
yeah.
How many events in? Like 6?
8.
8.
Yeah.
And they're having a rematch already. Like,
yeah.
Maybe give it some time. I don't know.
And they're like touting it as like the best fight ever too. I didn't think it was a good fight.
Yeah. But bare knuckle boxing, they're all pretty good.
I think it was kind of what they were saying in like because they had like the interview with both of them, in the middle there, and what they were kind of saying is like, hey, we're both young, we might as well do this now. I think that's what they were saying. Like, they're both thinking, no one's gonna last too long in this organization.
No,
you know what I mean?
Scar tissue all over the
oh yeah, big time. People. That's why I noticed this time was people were busting their knuckles. You know what I mean? People were really busting up. I saw a lot of dudes with busted up hands in this one. But it is fun. But it is it is what it is. It's bare knuckle fighting. It is what you expected. Yeah. But I thought it was a good. I thought it was a good event. What I always love most, actually, I think my most favorite part about it is how they start them like right in the middle, like face to face. You're seeing dudes that's when you're seeing dudes just get that flash like crazy knockout. You know what I mean? And you see a lot of people get cranked pretty good in that situation. And I really like that. I really like that part a lot. But it was a good event. I enjoyed it. There was a lot of good finishes. One stood out to me was that Jim Ehlers versus Julian Lane. That was a really, really good fight. Really knocked him with that uppercut from hell. That was a crazy good uppercut. But he eventually finished him in the second round. And with that move, it was nuts. He couldn't really stand up properly after that. That was really cool. There's one guy that was on his Dat Nagayan defeating Travis Thompson. He was the actual boxer. He actually has a good record too. He was like 25-4, I think. He was an actual boxer, pretty not bad. But he had his nickname is the Dat. You know what I mean? But no, and his his handle, like his YouTube Twitter is Dat be Dat. Is
pretty good handle.
Dat be Dat. But he actually put on a good show. It was kind of a good fight because he didn't look so great. He kind of looked like a little bit out of his element in the beginning, and then he kind of teed up and started getting better, and he hung in the pocket and was really landing the shots. I think they were only 135, but it actually was a pretty good fight. Actually, I actually enjoyed that one. But the main event, Gabriel Gonzaga. I wonder what kind of underdog, what the betting odds were on that. Anyone see a line on that, Morgan? Who the underdog was? Gabriel Gonzaga must have been the underdog.
I should have bet.
I know, defeating Antonio Silva, KO, and breaking his ankle too. Ugh, it looked nasty when he got knocked out. Did you see it? Ugh. He stepped on it. Because he was all, loopy. And he stepped on his ankle and then like fucking totally he stepped on his ankle like the wrong way. Like your foot's like this. He stepped on it like this. Oh. You know what I mean? Like it didn't. If you can see in the radio, don't watch the video if you're squeamish because it doesn't look good.
Watch it.
Watch it if you dare.
How much money is that really worth?
Yeah. I don't know what those guys got paid, but it had to have been somewhat lucrative. What I thought was kind of weird about the event, too, they had Vanderlei Silva there, too, you know what I mean? Kind of saying, he's 43. He's not ancient yet. I could see him fighting in it, but he was kind of seeing what the crowd's reaction was. He's like, that's kind of what all the people they were interviewing, they were like, would you fight? And they kind of beat around the bushes. I don't think anybody really wants to go to bare knuckle fighting on purpose. They asked Vanderlei this question, and they asked Verdum the same question too, and he never really said yes, I would. He said it'd be interesting to see me in this type of thing, but I think that's what Vanderlei was going for, was like to see what the crowd's reaction was. What it wasn't really great because I don't think he's got a real thick accent. I don't know if they really understood what he was saying. And I think
they're not go fighting channels.
Exactly, right? He's got a super thick accent. Just how many nose surgeries he's had. It's hard to understand what he's saying sometimes. But I think that's what it is. He was waiting for the crowd's reaction, and it wasn't very good reaction. So we'll see if he does end up in bare knuckle fighting. I could see him fighting it at once. It makes sense to me.
I truly believe if it was the year 2005, he'd be unbeatable in that shit.
Yeah, big time. Oh yeah, big time.
I can see that.
He'd be a feared guy to go into that. That's for damn sure.
Right now, I can see him going in it and doing okay against other old guys.
Yeah.
I think Verdum is still too good at MMA to go that route right now.
Me too. That's why he didn't really say yes. You know what I mean? But it's kind of Vanderlei was kind of the same thing, saying maybe you'll see me in this ring here. I'm enjoying all the fights. Yada yada yada.
I think it's Beck Rawlings going back to the UFC after her win streak.
Really? Well, I know she's going to Bellator, so we'll see if we'll. No, I'm just saying. Even after that fight too, because she did win in Bellator after that fight too. You know what I mean? Going to the UFC, I could see definitely them calling her. But one thing I noticed with the two Brazilians was the Brazilian. That's the kind of thing about the main event too. You know what I mean? It was Brazilian versus Brazilian grappler. Both these guys are really good grapplers, and they showed decent stand up. It was a bit weird though to watch it, really, stand up wasn't either one of their games, and even though that Gabriel Gonzaga won, he was still using pretty, pretty basic fighting. He was just doing 1, 2, and then
the guy
over the
did
top.
knock out Crow Cop.
That's true. It was knockout of the year too. You know what I mean, with that kick. But that was another. He's broken 2 ankles. That's this crazy thing. Crow Cop really broke his ankle super bad on that.
Gonzaga hits like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's crazy that Crow Cop got head kicked by Brendan Schaub and Gabriel Gonzaga. So who would have expected those two guys to head kick and knock out Crow Cop, man?
Exactly. His jaw isn't very good too. But still.
One thing about Crow Cop though is when he came over to the UFC had big ass heavyweights at that point. So he was always a lot smaller.
Yeah, that's true.
And he was
there's no USADA at the time.
He definitely was later in his career too. But one thing I always thought, why don't these Brazilian fighters ever come out to like a good like Sepultura song or something? You never see them coming out to any Sepultura. Have you ever seen that, Morgan? I don't think I've ever actually seen that Brazilian coming out to Sepultura.
I might have once back in the day.
Yeah. What good music to come out to though?
But that's always the problem as a guy who likes metal.
Yeah.
Is these metal bands come from these certain countries and you expect the people there to listen to it.
Yep.
But they don't.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah.
People from Scandinavia listen to like this crazy black metal, and you ask them about it.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we listen to house.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Still
disappointing, Sweden.
Very, very. I know, but you'd think at least one guy would listen to it. You know what I mean? Still, if I'm going to come out. If I ever become a fighter somehow in my old age, I will come out to Sepultura.
I'll root for you. I'll be in the audience. Let's go.
Resist.
I think I'd have to come out to Roots. I think Roots would be a good one.
That would be a good one.
I think Roots would be a good one. Obviously, easy choice. Not a bad event, though. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. And, you know what I mean? I'll watch them again. That brings us to UFC on ESPN 6. Reyes versus Weidman. Good card. Really good card. That Boston card had some really great fights. I watched basically the whole thing, undercard and main card. I liked that it was on a Friday. It was weird to be competing with Friday Night SmackDown a little bit, but you know, in the day and age where you have PVR, it's only but a minor convenience. It's almost better because you can fast forward through the commercials.
You hear what
I'm saying?
said about the fights?
What did you say?
He wishes he did the Jeremy Stevens Yar as their main event.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could believe it because you know what I mean? Because I think Jeremy Stevens would have won.
Well,
he wanted that 5 rounds, yeah.
I know Dana doesn't like the guy who's not white to win, but that's pretty blatant.
Oh,
wow.
Calling it out. Oh, man.
Wow, well played. Well said. But really good card. Canadian Tanner Bozier. He beats Daniel Spitz in a by all unanimous decision. It actually wasn't a bad fight. It wasn't a great showing by Bozier, but Spitz was huge compared to him. I don't know if this guy's going to have to go down a weight class or what, because he was poorly undersized. Brendan Allen chokes out Kevin Holland. And then the beginning of the undercard was pretty good too. Sean Brady, undefeated guy, takes on Court McGee. His first UFC fight is Court McGee, so he gets a tough test, and he was taken to the test. He actually looks pretty good. He was highly touted by Paul Felder before the fight. He's one of his main training partners. Felder's just basically saying he's one of the strongest guys he's ever fought or had to train with. And Brady didn't look great, obviously, first fight against a seasoned vet, Court McGee winning the show. He looked okay. He looks like he's got strength, that's for sure, and he really whopped Court McGee and knocked him down in the first round. Close decision though, because I thought Court McGee had the last 2 rounds. That's what really saved him too, because I thought I had him losing actually this fight. Because once Court McGee got knocked down, he basically kind of woke him up, and when he came back in, he was really tough. Randy Costa TKOing Boston Salmon. Those guys went toe to toe. Funny enough, where do you think this Boston Salmon guy is from? Where do you think he's from?
Boston.
Morgan?
Not Boston.
Hawaii.
Wow.
He's from Hawaii.
I was right.
Oh, weird. But they just stood in the middle of the ring and started winging him right off the bat, and Boston couldn't take him. Randy Costa, who was from Boston and was like a huge crowd favorite, the crowd was super behind him. Really knocked him the fuck out. Really good show. By those guys. Sean Woodson beating Kyle Bochniak. Woodson, he was fucking 145 and 6'2".
What?
Like, how nuts is that?
That's not healthy.
I
That's
know.
Like that other guy, what's his name? He passed away. Didn't
Corey
he?
Hill, yeah. He did die. But Corey Hill was 155.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
But he was like 6'6", right?
I think he was tall, yeah. I think he was like 6'4" or 6'5", I think, yeah.
It's too skinny.
Yeah, I know, exactly. No, but still, this guy here, though, you know what I mean? He just looked odd, you know what I mean? Like, his whole, he was super disproportionate, had a massive head. You know, but
But did it just look massive?
Exactly, it could have been, yeah. Super tall.
This is a normal hand.
The other guy, for instance, was only like 5'7". So you know what I mean? Like, what a mismatch in that. And he just did that. He just out-muscled him. He just was way too big. Bochniak would just couldn't get in the inside. It was like a man beating up a child. Really, that's what it looked like.
That's weird though, because he's so tall and skinny.
Yeah, exactly.
You would
Yeah.
think a guy like that wouldn't have much power.
He had pretty big shoulders though.
Yeah, he was just exactly.
That's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, that is about it. Yeah.
He knew what to work on.
All he needs is the shoulder muscles.
And head muscle.
And head muscle. And a big head.
A big head. Big plus in MMA.
Except for Bigfoot Silva.
Yeah.
That's the only downside.
He was doing good until they made him get off the TRT.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
You know, if he was at normal levels, actually after bare knuckle boxing, I don't know anymore.
Yeah, I don't know why he was in the first place.
Money.
Yeah, obviously. Molly McCann just destroying Dana Belbita. She kept on grabbing the fence in the first round, got a point deducted, and then she just got the shit kicked out of her after that. It was a total beatdown. Her face was just super beat up. Like, she took some crazy ground and pound. Didn't give up, but come the third round, it wasn't a pretty sight.
Molly's a beast.
Yeah, she is tough.
She's one of the first girls, like one of the women fighters, who is actually like legit, like dangerous with her hands.
Yeah.
Like Amanda is obviously in Cyborg, but this
Macy.
Macy's too. Yeah, Macy too. Yeah, no, it's good.
Macy for sure.
Macy. Yeah, no, that was a crazy battle though. Yeah, she just took a beating the whole fight. Charles Rosa, arm barring Manny Bermudez. It was a nice one too. It really wasn't like a normal arm bar. You see, almost like an arm crank a little bit there, and he had no choice but to verbally tap. It was a slick one. It was right in there. He was getting beat the shit kicked out of him a little bit there too, and gets a slick arm bar. Really nice finish. Darren Stewart beating Darren Wynn by split decision. Tough call on that one because Wynn was getting the takedowns, but he clearly gassed. The dude he's 185 and he's like 5'4". He's like super short. You know what I mean? Do you have to go down, I think, a weight class when you're that short?
He's not built for that division.
No, but he's wide as hell. Training partner of Daniel Cormier, wrestler as well. He had some good takedowns, but Stewart, I thought, did the better on the exchange on the stand-up, and the refs had enough because Darren Wynn was getting the takedowns and holding him down, but really doing nothing with it. But when they stood him up, Stewart was really landing some nice bombs. Another huge win.
Do you think, for a guy like that, it would be better if they had height classes than weight classes?
No, I don't think so.
Because he would smash other guys his height.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But guys his own weight, he has trouble with.
Oh, big time. He didn't look terrible in this, you know what I mean?
He didn't look terrible, but I mean, like, his skill set is higher than the guy he fought, but he still couldn't beat him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, of course. But I don't know, man. I don't know. This thing is open for debate. I think that's open for debate for sure. Just because you get a lot of short dudes, and even the dude who's 140, but the one dude who's 145 and 6'2", he'd have to fight his height class. You know what I mean? he really would die.
You get to fight Junior DeSantos today.
Just ragdoll.
Exactly. You know what I mean? So I think it's open for debate. Maybe it's an equation of your height and your weight. You're like, you're a 4.5. You can fight another 4.5 person. You know what I mean? It's an equation. But that brings us to Macy Barber just beating the shit, unfortunately, out of Jillian Robertson. Oh, man, that was a beat.
I was rooting for the Canadian.
Oh, I know. I was super hyped on her. She looked good, too. That's the thing that pisses me off about this one, is that why the hell did she pull guard? Like, she was doing great until she pulled guard for some stupid reason. And then Macy just landed a few quick little shots there. And then when she got back up, she was a little bit hurt. And then she just started that left, right, plowing through with a crazy onslaught by Macy Barber, just throwing some heat with intent to kill.
With no respect for Jillian.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Good call, Kelly. She had no respect for her stand-up game after that. The only thing I didn't like about the stoppage, a lot of people are saying early stoppage. I think it was a good stoppage, but the only thing I don't like about it, even though Jillian Robertson was she had thrown a few punches while she was getting the shit kicked out of her, and they didn't really have anything on them. But that is the time when the ref decided to stop the fight, was when she was throwing a punch. So that's why I think maybe gave her another punch. You know what I mean? But she was beaten up.
Yeah,
she was beaten up, and
she was not gonna win that fight.
No, she was only going to take more of a beating.
She's the next big thing in that division. She's got to step it up and get like a person that's on her level next. Yeah.
I think Jillian Robertson was touted to be there, but they just, they keep giving these Canadian girls a chance, and just unfortunately when it comes to the bigger competition, just America just has better fighters when it comes to women, obviously.
American women, they probably have a lot rougher of a life than Canadian women.
That's for sure, yeah. That brings us to the next fight. Joe Lozon versus Jonathan Pierce. And that was a crazy-ass fight. Did you guys catch that one?
I did.
Man, it was a half Nelson, basically like submission. And then he just punched the shit out of him in that half Nelson position. That was just nasty. You know what I mean? He was stuck, Morgan. I've never seen that before. He was totally stuck. Like he couldn't get out. Like he had it in a half Nelson with it, and then holding onto the dude's armpit of his other arm. Yeah. He couldn't do anything.
And his arm, like twisted his elbow behind
like
his
all
head
behind. Yeah, it was like super. Yeah,
that's the only fight I missed.
It was a crazy.
Something glitched out on my PVR recording.
Oh no!
So like that fight messed up and skipped through.
Oh no!
I've never seen someone so dominant.
Yeah, that was.
Oh fuck! That's like the best fight on the card.
It was crazy because Joe Lozon's from Boston, so everyone was loving him too. And this Jonathan Pierce guy says, "I'm going to retire you. It's going to be this is going to be my stepping stone is putting you in the grave."
I heard that Dana White has said that he's going to make Lozon retire.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh really?
That's the last fight.
So maybe that guy did retire him even on a loss.
Wow. Well, either way, if he can get a win bonus or something like that, because that was insane. He just beat the shit out of him with that. He looked good.
Lozon some sort of computer guy?
I'm not sure.
I remember that was the thing when he first came in, the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
he was like some sort of. He did some sort of work with computers where he was already making pretty good money.
Oh, I can believe it.
He's an intelligent guy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I think he's big into training gyms now too. I think in Boston he has a bunch of training gyms, and it totally makes sense. Well-rounded fighter. He's an MMA fighter through and through. You know what I mean? From a tough town like Boston. Mm-hmm. Always had good fights, on his feet.
Tough.
Yeah, always tough.
And honestly, when I first seen the guy, I was like, this guy looks like a pansy. He's gonna get his ass kicked, and he's obviously not a pansy, and he kicks most people's ass.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good fight to go out on.
Yep.
It's not like he's gonna do another title run.
No, obviously not. No, I agree with you, Kelly. Exactly. If I think it's time to go, it's time to go. Maybe you can get on some kind of payroll with the UFC and do something in the head office or something like that.
Maybe work at the sport and fitness place.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, for sure, absolutely. Huge win though. That was crazy. That was super crazy. And then that brings us to fucking Inhaler Gate here. Greg Hardy beating Ben Sassoli. He was beating the shit out of him too. I actually thought right off the bat from the first round he had upped his skill set. I thought he was really doing some good pushing off, and he actually looked like he didn't tire out and was pacing himself. But great kicks, low kicks, high kicks. He was really, throwing those punches in there too. Really, you just see, I think the one thing about Greg Hardy that separates him from a lot of dudes, he's just massive. He's gigantic. You know what I mean? And we saw that here. Ben Sassoli's not a little guy. He's huge too, and Greg Hardy made him look small. And really the reach of Greg Hardy, just insane. He's made to fight. And then we obviously see, it gets turned into a no contest because of the Inhaler. He obviously won. He was beating the shit out of him, but that's the weird thing about it too. You know what I mean? I don't even think he needed the Inhaler. Really, he was looking good.
It made a huge difference myself.
It did.
I don't think so. I think either way he would have won that fight. I don't think he didn't do.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No, obviously not. Obviously not.
So it's kind of like, okay, you took a win that he probably would have had anyway and turned it into a no contest.
No, and I hear what you're saying with that.
Some bullshit.
No, I'm using the Inhaler is a big deal and makes a difference. But yeah, did it actually affect him? The result of the fight? No. You know what I mean? Ben Sassoli was not looking good, but he did eat a nasty eye poke. He must be training with John Jones or something. Greg Hardy eye poked the shit out of Ben Sassoli, and he was so tough he didn't even bitch about it. He just kept on fighting.
I think the problem with that fight for Greg Hardy is when you're a guy who's used to just knocking dudes out in the first round, and you get thrown in there against a Maori.
Yeah, exactly.
A 260-pound Maori.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not knocking that guy out.
No, he's gonna go the distance for sure, and that's what we saw here. And he tagged him a few times too. He made him respect his power a little bit. That's why he was staying on the outside. It was a good showing for Greg Hardy. We just see him this guy he just can't avoid trouble. This guy him in trouble or best of friends, man. He can't avoid it.
I kind of felt bad for him when I was watching him talk about it. He's like, I'm trying to do everything right, and then they tell me this is okay, and then all of a sudden it's not okay, and I fucked up again.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings us to the co-main event of the evening. finally, we get to see the rivalry between Yair Rodriguez and Jeremy Stevens. Man, it was worth the wait. It was worth the wait. The Little Heathen versus El Pantera was worth the wait, man. What a fight. That was crazy. Rodriguez coming out, guns a-blazing. First round, just going crazy, with the kicks, landing a lot of crazy shit. Axe kicks, we saw a little bit of everything, and Jeremy Stevens just really not being able to find his range, kind of getting beat up pretty hard there. And then in the second round, we hear the kick that was heard around the world. Like, man, you could hear him wince, and the slap of that right into his winder. That was like, he curled his toes right into his fucking winder. How Jeremy Stevens lived through that. I've never seen one take those gut shot and manage to live. That was insane. Like, talk about, super emergency panic mode for his body. Wouldn't have responded at all. Everyone's been punched in the winder there, and it's like debilitating for a minute or two. How this guy, weathered the storm, and then for Rodriguez to tire himself out, he fucking blew his load on him. Yeah. With that, but then for Stevens to come back, and end the round on top. Like, that was insane. Like, to be that fucking hurt and to end the round on top. And then the third round, he takes over, and, Rodriguez looks exhausted. And Stevens takes over, didn't do enough on the ground, though. He landed some good shots, but, it just wasn't enough. But he totally won to go from that to win the third round. That's nuts, man. And we see these guys, with the, fighters camaraderie, and they do hug and shake hands afterwards, even though they had some beef. And I think they at least squashed their beef, and they put on one hell of a fight. Mm-hmm. One of the contenders for Fight of the Year. That brings us to the main event of the evening. Dominic Reyes taking on Chris Weidman. And like Morgan had said earlier, one of probably the best fight music entrance duo by both dudes. Chris Weidman coming to Tom Petty, Won't Back Down, and Dominic Reyes coming out to This Is How We Do It.
It was awesome.
Yeah, because it's Friday night too. That because the card was on a Friday, which was a little bit weird. I didn't mind. At least I could fast forward through most of it, but I just thought that was hilarious. Morgan was right. It was the best, probably in history, the best fight entrance music matchup ever. For two, I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty. It's a good song too. Good for a fighter. And then This Is How We Do It for fighting too. This is how we do it. Oh, amazing! Absolutely amazing. It's pretty much what everyone thought it would be. Chris Weidman coming out with a great grappling game, and he was looking strong on his feet. He was doing some amazing grappling. Maybe that's I think the weight addition had helped his strength. That's for damn sure. He was really manhandling Reyes anytime he got his hands on him. Unfortunately, all it took was Reyes really just schmucked him hard. People want to say he's got a glass chin. That was still one fucking hell of a hard punch that he just ate right there. His chin's not the best, but I think most dudes would have got dropped by that back step straight left, like from hell. That one just really put him right on his ass. And what was more concerning about Weidman's jaw was when he was on the ground, I think, and he got, one hammer fist. And that's what even Reyes had said after the fight. I really smashed him hard with that first punch, but the other ones I just touched him and he was in and out. The first punch he gets knocked out, and then the third one he gets knocked back in, and then the fourth punch, he gets knocked back out again. Yeah. And I think that was more concerning than the initial shot for Weidman's CTE damage or his chin at all. But good showing for Dominic Reyes, calling out obviously John Jones. I think he's a dude who kind of got lost in this mix with kind of that stinker he put on against Olsemeyer. He kind of had to regroup and come back in because a lot of people thought he had lost that Olsemeyer fight to come in. And, Chris Weidman was a 185, whatever, really, but he did put him out in just over a minute and a half. With one hell of a crazy knockout.
And that is a former champ who beat Anderson Silva twice when Anderson Silva was not being beat. Exactly.
I think for that dazzle of the ring, I think it's a good matchup for that. Just to see if he can do the limelight fights, right? And I think that's what we saw here is that he definitely can.
Even Israel couldn't put Anderson Silva away.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. Yeah,
it is.
Good card though. I really enjoyed it. For the free cards, you know what I mean, putting on a great show. What was weird is the crowd. The crowd was kind of weird. You needed to put your sunglasses on. The crowd was so white, so pale white too. Boston. What the hell's wrong with?
They're Irish, man.
I know, but still, what's wrong with it? Does the sun not shine over there or something? Am I missing something? I don't know what's going on. Is it just like clouds, like over top of like 24/7, 365 days?
Outside. They go.
I
From
guess
the
so.
car to the bar.
From the car to the bar.
I feel attacked here.
Wow, it's odd. It reminds me of this. It was like a terrible like 2-part episode of Married with Children when there's like a curse on this town because of the Bundy curse. So they have to bring them back they have to bring the last remaining Bundy and his last son to the town and kill them in the town to raise the curse. And this town is just in darkness. But it's in total darkness. And it's a 2-part episode. I think it's actually more than that. I think it's actually like a 3 or 4-part episode. Yeah, that. When they go to London, it was such a weird episode, but that's kind of what it is. And but there's the town, so they get abducted, right? Not abducted. They trick them. They say, "Oh, you've won a contest, free flight to London. You gotta come to this town." And so they trick them to come over there. But it's funny because there's the town that lives next to that town. They've lived off the tourism of people coming to see like this town in the darkness. So if they kill the Bundys outside of the darkness, then the curse will never be lifted. You know what I mean? So it's just like, and he got cursed from a witch when it was like a Bundy from like the medieval times, when he was like making fun of this lady for like because like she was like trying to get him to do horseshoes on her horse, and he made fun of her, in a normal Ted Bundy way, and then she cursed him. Al Bundy, and then they cursed. Then she put the curse on because she was actually a witch. So it's that show. They had some good writers, I tell you. But it was just a great show. But that just reminds me of like the town's all in darkness. Like how does that happen? It doesn't make any sense. That's you, Boston. Darkness, pale ass city. So you start up a sunscreen store in Boston.
A whole crowd of Larry Birds.
Good card though. Good card. Had a good weekend. Drinking it up and having fun and watching fights. Great weekend. We should just about wrap it up. Ran a little long today, but I think it's. I think we're ready. Let her flow sometimes, and I think right at that like hour and a half mark. It's always then it's definitely said my piece. Move on. Check us out on Twitter, folks. @andnewpodcast. We're getting some likes out there. Odd people are liking. I guess that's just how Twitter works. You don't know who's gonna like your shit, but it exists. But special shout to obviously everyone watching the show. Said anniversary show.
How do they watch it?
Yeah, tune in.
YouTube.
All right.
Except there's no video.
Tune into the black screen on YouTube.
Where's my makeup guy?
It's like, where's the camera?
Big shout out to our fans in Boston. We love you.
Boston strong.
Oh shit. Yeah. Thanks for everyone for listening every week, folks. Back at it again here, and we will be back next week. Year into it. We're on the plus side of a year now. I'm really excited to see what this new year brings, especially with Halloween around the corner. And I always like doing the year-end show too. Year-end show, only a few months away. Fuck, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Always think about fall. It goes by pretty quick. The first part before Christmas, you know what I mean? And then you're into the winter.
Goes quick. Your money goes quick.
That's for damn sure. That's the worst part about it. Well, folks, that about wraps it up here then. For my man and co-host and producer extraordinaire, and Morgan, thanks again for joining us, man. Always welcome back anytime you like. My name is Steven, and you've been listening to the New Podcast.